Joined now at the intermission by Moncton Wildcats defenseman Etienne Morin, as the Wildcats off to a pretty good start to this season. Etienne, what is life like under the Gardner McDougall coach Wildcats?
It's really intense, I'm going to be honest, but you got to love it, and that's what professional is all about. Really love it for now.
Also, part of it is a lot of expectations on this Moncton team, a lot of veterans like yourself. Is there a lot of pressure inside this dressing room for the Wildcats right now?
Not at all, to be honest. I think it's quite the opposite, just fun. And we're coming in the rink, and Gardner has this quote that he likes, is just getting started, and that's what it's like every single day. So we're just getting started, and we just want to be better each and every day.
The game I remember is October 29th, 2021 in Moncton. You score your first 2 career goals against the Cape Breton Eagles. What do you remember about that night?
Incredible night, to be honest. I remember my parents texting me. They always thought I was a great hockey player, but they'd never believed I was an excellent hockey player. And I remember after that game that I scored 2 goals, they were like, okay, he's something. Honestly, it was just a great night, and having your first goal in Major Junior Hockey League, wherever it is, it's awesome. Then I got a second one right after. Can't ask for any better.
As we come into your 19-year-old season, you're both drafted and signed by the Calgary Flames. Do you have any idea it was going to be Calgary, and how much pressure does it take off you now that you have pen to paper and that you're signed to the Flames?
I had no idea it was going to be Calgary at the draft, honestly. You have feelings with some teams, and you have no idea. Whenever you expect a team to draft you, it's going to be the opposite that happens. Obviously, it's a big relief for me to have the contract. It's a huge feeling. It's been a dream ever since I was a kid, so it's awesome. But now I have a new dream in mind. I want to play in the NHL now, so I got to prove myself.
Talking to Etienne Morin, who is a draft pick of the Calgary Flames, currently with the Moncton Wildcats. You end up playing 1 game with the Wranglers, Calgary's AHL team. Small sample size, but you were there for practices and whatnot. What did that experience tell you about getting to that next level?
It's incredible just being around the pro guys and seeing what it's all about. It's their job now, so that's what they do. I think just the pace and the size of the guys is what really makes the difference between junior. They're always working, and it just doesn't stop. So obviously it was a nice experience, and I learned a lot from it.
The reason you were there is because your Wildcats, unfortunately for you, suffer a surprise in the playoffs, getting swept by Chicoutimi. Seemed to me like you had a good attitude coming out of that you wanted to learn from that disappointment. How much do you channel that coming into this season?
Yeah, exactly. I just want to learn from your losses. That's the goal here, and we certainly did not forget about it, and I've already got Chicoutimi's game circle on the calendars. We'll learn from it, and we'll be a lot better this year, I'm sure.
Speaking of games to look forward to, in the preseason, a lot of people talking about Cape Breton and Moncton, the 2 teams ranked in the Maritimes in the top 10. I know you guys have other games on the schedule, obviously, but how much do you look forward to games against Cape Breton? You expect that to be a big rivalry this year?
Obviously, it's weird because usually they say the big rivalry is between Moncton and Halifax, but ever since I've been in this league, every single game against Cape Breton, I feel like they're the rivalry. I have no idea why, but it's always going to be a challenge, and it's always nice to play against them. So really looking forward to the first game, and especially that we're 2 powerhouses. It's going to be a great level of hockey.
Yeah, I think just for whatever reason, the 2 teams' cycles have lined up the last few years. Obviously, being offensive is a big part of your game. When did you realize, growing up as a defenseman, that you could be an offensive-minded defenseman? Obviously, you want to pay attention to the defensive side as well.
Yeah, it was when I was in midget. I've always been a stay-at-home defenseman because that's what my dad really liked. I got in midget, and I didn't even practice anything, but for some reason, I was really offensive all of a sudden, and then I just kept building on from that, and now I'm trying to be a 2-way defenseman, but I really like the offensive part of my game.
I'm sure another goal for you would love to represent Canada at the World Juniors. Talk about your experience at the World Junior Summer Showcase this past summer. Is that something that's kind of in the back of your mind?
Oh, yeah, of course. Representing your country is an honor, and I was able to do it for the U18 after a season, and it was just such a great experience. And now it's the World Juniors, which is the biggest tournament under 20 in the world, so it's really something, and it's been a dream of mine ever since I started playing hockey.
How important was that U18 experience? And I guess how challenging it was, because you had mono not long before, so probably tough to maybe get the legs going to that event.
It was really challenging because we just finished a big season. I was really tired, and I remember I said that to every team at the Combine because they were asking me about that tournament, and I said I was I think it was 27 hours without sleeping because of the time change. I got on the bus. I needed to practice right away. I lost my sticks. They don't have the same kick or curve as I have here, so I had to play with a different curve. I played with a straight curve, and they had a P92, which is a complete banana. So it was a really hard experience for me, but once again, I learned a lot from it. And like I said, just representing your country at any point in your life is unbelievable. So I can't complain.
Talking to Moncton Wildcats defenseman Etienne Morin, currently with the Wildcats. One player used to play for the Wildcats is Al Shalinski. He plays with Cape Breton. Did you pair up with Shalinski at all last year? What are your memories of being teammates with him?
No, I did not. I wish I could, but honestly, pretty quiet guy, but
Right.
definitely miss him in the dressing room this year. He was a really good friend of mine, but I'm looking forward to see him and play against him. I know he's going to be hard in the corners, so hopefully
Right.
I want to go in there.
Oh, you give the forward teammates tips on how to get around him, maybe?
That's a great question. I don't know. You're trying not to be gentle too much because it shows a message to your team.
Well, no friends on the ice, I guess.
Nope, exactly.
When you were at Flames camp, you had the opportunity to go horseback riding. Was that a natural experience for you? How fun was that?
I did that, I think, once in my life before, and it was in Calgary also. But yeah, no, it wasn't that hard, but it was definitely fun for sure. We were all the guys together for, I think it was 2 hours, just going in mountains, and it was pretty nice.
We talked about the pressure in the Wildcats dressing room. How much do you talk about the goals for this season, or is it kind of just focused on the present at the moment?
Just focus on the present. We always say this: good defense leads to good offense. So more focus on the defensive side right now, and the points and the goals will take care of themselves. So I don't really have a goal in mind, no.
I'll have to ask Wildcats player, since you're the first one I've had the chance to talk to, thoughts on the new black third jerseys?
They're incredible. The first time I saw the jersey, I was like, might not be as good. And then I saw the full equipment and the full on. I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. And it's probably one of the nicest jerseys I've ever seen for sure.
Looks good in pictures. As a broadcaster, I'm a little bit worried about the numbers, but we'll see if we can.
You can't see them. We try to do a video.
Lastly, I wanted to ask you, if somebody hadn't seen you play before, how would you describe Etienne Morin as a player?
I'm describing myself as a two-way defenseman. I'm really smart with the puck, so I have poise with the puck. They call it hockey IQ. I have a good agility on the blue line, and I like to skate on that blue line and try to find lanes, and I have a good wrist shot, and yeah, that's about it for my description.
Wildcats fans have enjoyed that the last few years. Best of luck, Etienne. Thanks for this.
Thank you, sir.
That's Etienne Morin joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Celtic Kubota, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.